Hello and welcome to Lunch with the Editor. This week we look at our cover story. The current issue cover story is about fake news and social media trolls. That every other person, whether a politician, whether a professional, whoever is in the public domain is getting trolled. Celebrities, of course, are the worst victims. So even if you are not a celebrity, even if you are just doing a job, if you have a public profile, you will get trolled. Is the new mantra, is the new social order. But now, when we took a very close and hard look at the minds of trolls, what we found was a shocking phenomenon. That is, a narrative is built, fake news is produced, and that is put out in the public domain. And then the trolling begins. And everybody is game. Everybody is a prey here. And the latest one, in fact, while we were working on this, while we were almost through with our package, last week, a judge of the Delhi High Court suddenly became a victim. There was a piece of fake news put out through a tweet by a very senior person, none less than S. Gurumurthy, who is our columnist also, who is a Hindutva ideologue. He very sort of innocuously asked this question whether this judge of the Delhi High Court was a junior to P. Chidambaram. The context was Karti Chidambaram getting bail, getting some sort of relief in the Enforcement Directorate case. So it was in that context this question was introduced. The judge in question was never a junior to P. Chidambaram. Mr. Gurumurthy later deleted the tweet, but the damage was done. So every time we see that a narrative is built, this narrative may not have anything to do with reality. And then that is tweeted and retweeted and trolled, and the person or persons are turned into villains. They may not have had done anything to have invited this sort of locust attack. So primarily it seems that there is an agenda. So that is the cover story all about, and it is not about what BJP is doing or Hindutva ideologues is doing. One of the worst things that happened in recent times was an attack on our Home Minister Rajnath Singh. A picture was photoshopped. A still picture from a movie was picked up and it was photoshopped to show that the Director General of Police of the state of Gujarat is hugging the feet of the Home Minister. This was a terrible, terrible thing that the trolls had done. And it just went viral. And this was tweeted or retweeted by Congress spokesman. So this is not limited to BJP, this is not limited to Congress, this is not limited to the left. Everybody is doing this. And to the extent that even individuals have started doing it to finish off professional and personal rivals.
You know, the worst thing that I see, that the moment it comes, nobody has the patience to go through or to ask this question, is it correct? Is this the truth? I think there is a compulsion. I mean, trolls who are doing it, they have an agenda, as you pointed out. But many of the people who get drawn into it, I think they will have to make a comment immediately, take a stand. Nobody, I mean, very few are there, who look at it and don't say anything. Many of them I find that there's a compulsion. You will have to take a stand, and then by the time you realize that it was absolutely wrong, it was a fake news, the damage is done. I mean, it takes 8 months, for a person that kind of a reputation, and especially I'm talking about sensitive issues on which you hound, you name and shame a person, then that turns out to be absolutely false. That is not what had happened. What does that person do? I mean, he does a counter trolling. Meaning, this is really a very nasty world that we are in.
And because our judicial system is so cumbersome and nobody wants to go to the judiciary to have a defamation case, people just suffer this sort of attacks.
And also at the same time, the others take advantage of this, knowing it fully well, kya hoga? Once I do it, I will apologize or delete it. But by then, the damage is done.
It's completely done. The damage to reputations, damage to credibility built over decades of work is finished off with one fake news story and then an army of trolls carrying this fake narrative forward forever and ever. So this is the story that we have for you this week, and also about the minds of these trolls. This is not just about politicians, this is not just about professionals. People who are sitting in front of their computers and who are compulsively going out and attacking other individuals, particularly celebrities. There is something deeper, some sort of a psychological malaise, some sort of a disease. So, while the cover story was done by Siddharth Mishra, who looked at the bots who are doing it, who looked at the troll army, who looked at the fake news factories of politicians, Arushi Bedi examined the mind of a troll.
What you were saying, that I mean, it's celebrities all right, but anyone who's in the public domain, meaning because of your work, somehow or the other you're writing something, or you have to come to the television channel, the anchors, or wherever there is some kind of an entry or a person who gets noticed in the public domain, there will be trolling. This is something, and because this is very important and relevant, I think, to most of our viewers, because one way or the other they even don't know. Many times they see a sensational news, oh, this is what has happened. But next time when they have a look at something, they should ask this question, whether this is true, whether they should wait a little before jumping into it.
Shiv Vishwanathan has a brilliant column about this new mob on the internet street, the new breed of bullies on the internet street. He's saying that the entire idea is to destroy the other. There is no discourse left. Discourse is dead. Arguments are dead. The basic idea, the basic agenda is to finish off the other. If you don't agree with the other, finish him off, finish her off.
We are no longer a critique. What used to happen, that I don't like your policy or the argument that you've given, I give a counter argument. But for that you will have to study. You will also have to have some knowledge about the subject that you're talking about. Calling somebody names, that's all you're doing. You're abusing someone. You don't really have to have any knowledge of that particular issue on which you're jumping into it and joining others mindlessly.
And our own Sunil Menon has written a column on the occasion when Outlook itself came under this sort of an attack. So he is explaining that also. So, but sure, we have more than just this. We also looked at BJP's vulnerability after the bypolls in Phulpur and Gorakhpur. It is no longer invincible, Pranay.
See, that's an interesting one for reasons which we can't go into it. We couldn't do the last week's Lunch with Editor edition, but on that we could have perhaps talked about the reason which made us put the Mahagathbandhan on the cover. We thought it's such a significant development, and therefore we were looking at it more closely than perhaps any others. In a way, it's not that who's going to win. It's not that it was not very clear to us at that time, but we knew the significance of this and the way it is now panning out. So that question now becomes even clearer. The vulnerability. it does not look, because again, if we go back a little, when we were talking about where is the BJP going to get the numbers, especially in the cow belt or the Hindi belt, because 2014 they had reached almost the saturation point. Now the drop in the numbers, it's an extremely huge task to again do the same, perform as well as they did at that time. So where will you be getting the numbers? This had been the question, and this is a question we are probing in different ways. The Mahagathbandhan that gave us a chance, and now what has happened? It brings us to this. Yes, absolutely. We will see in the next 1 year, Rajesh, I think, a lot of alignment and realignment.
Yeah.
Because
We'll be looking at it very closely. We'll be following it up. We'll be putting it out. We'll be putting out more and more stories. Meanwhile, I'll take a look at some of the comments that have come in from our viewers. S.K. Upadhyay like that. Rizwanul Haq. Then Ujjaini Sharma saying that as much as social media is opening up our world in terms of information available to us, it is making us more and more insular. We can now all get our ideologies and belief systems confirmed with very little challenge or resistance. How does a media outlet like yours deal with these changes? Yes, this is our attempt. This is our attempt to lay open these echo chambers. You are absolutely right, Ujjaini Sharma. These social media platforms are actually creating echo chambers. And these echo chambers are not even genuine echo chambers. Within these echo chambers also, fake news is what drives the noise. So we are at our level, we are trying to explain what is happening in these echo chambers. Jendran Kagu, the fake news culture is a recent phenomenon and no prize for guessing who started and expertised it. Well, yes. Dilip Kumar Bhattacharya, though fake news is pain in the society and media fraternity, but for some it's a gain too, maybe for short term in today's world. Weak opportunists use this very much. Yes, opportunists use this. This is their choicest weapon. This is what they love most, because it's very easy to finish off their rivals. Harbhajan Singh Bishnoi liked it. So, well, that's all for today. Thanks for joining.